During his first few weeks in office, President Trump signed an executive order reimposing maximum pressure on Iran. So what exactly does that entail, and how does it differ from the maximum pressure campaign Trump pursued during his first term? We talked about it with Robert Satloff. He's the executive director of the Washington Institute.
Maximum pressure refers to the full enforcement of sanctions against Iran. Joe Biden maintained on the books all the sanctions that were in place when Donald Trump handed over the Oval Office to him in 2021. All the sanctions were there, but the enthusiasm to enforce them was not there. And so the Biden administration, in many respects, looked the other way as the Iranians sold a lot of oil that eventually ended up in Chinese refineries or Indonesian refineries on their way to China. They looked the other way. Now Donald Trump is promising full enforcement to take hundreds of thousands of Iranian barrels of oil off the market, squeeze Iran's economy, deny Iran the cash to send to some of its proxies around the region, and even to dry up the resources for the regime itself to do to run its daily business. And that pressure, it is assumed, it is asserted, that pressure will grow so great that Iran will do will cry uncle and will do a new nuclear deal that would be more restrictive on the nuclear program, and that would encompass a broader range of Iran's nefarious activities, which weren't included at all in the original nuclear deal. That's the goal. That's the idea.
We had no threat when I left office. Iran was not able to sell oil. Nobody was buying oil because I said, don't buy it. If you buy it, you're not doing any business with the United States. And Hamas was not being funded. Hezbollah was not being funded. Nobody was being funded.
I think there's a couple of differences. One is, yes, Iran is weaker. Two, we're now in, the first month of this administration. So Iran faces the prospect of years of battering sanctions. It was only halfway through the last administration that the president ripped up or withdrew the United States from the Iran nuclear deal and began to impose all these tough sanctions. And three, the prospect of an alternative, of an Israeli military action, is now not such a hypothetical, since we've seen the Israelis strike Iran twice in the last year in response to Iran precipitating this. But it's not a theoretical idea anymore. We've seen Israel successfully do aerial attacks against Iran, leaving Iran vulnerable. So the hypothetical is now real. The prospect of sanctions is now longer and therefore more damaging. So the hope is maybe all these things will combine to compel the Iranians to do what they've never done before.
In Washington, I'm Shayna Estulin for TV Abraham.